the twin flame journey isn't just another relationship. It's an awakening that transforms your entire being, shifting your consciousness beyond the ordinary realms of human experience. Like a flower breaking through concrete, your soul is emerging from the constraints of external world. Each step on this sacred path brings you closer to understanding truths that transcend our everyday reality. The journey itself becomes your greatest teacher, revealing wisdom through both the gentle whispers of intuition and the thunderous lessons of challenge. Perhaps you'll notice yourself pausing in the middle of ordinary moments while sipping your morning coffee or during your evening commute, suddenly struck by deep questions about your authentic self. These aren't the familiar self-critical thoughts that once plagued your mind. Instead, they're gentle invitations to understand your soul's true nature. You might find yourself wondering why certain situations trigger specific emotions, or contemplating the deeper purpose behind your life choices. This awakening consciousness manifests in subtle yet powerful ways. You begin to notice patterns in your behavior that have been present for years but remained invisible until now. Like an archaeologist carefully brushing away layers of sand to reveal ancient treasures, you uncover the hidden motivations behind your actions, the unconscious beliefs driving your decisions, and the inherited patterns that have shaped your life's journey. The most remarkable aspect of this transformation is how it affects your daily interactions. During conversations, you might catch yourself observing your own reactions as if watching a movie. You become aware of the tone of your voice, the energy behind your words, and the impact your presence has on others. This heightened awareness doesn't make you self-conscious. Rather, it empowers you to respond to life's challenges with greater wisdom and authenticity. This mirror of self-reflection extends beyond mere mental analysis. It becomes a full-bodied experience. You start recognizing how your emotions manifest physically, where tension lives in your body, and how your energy shifts in different environments and relationships. This somatic awareness becomes a trusted compass, guiding you toward choices that align with your highest good. As this first sign deepens, you'll discover that self-reflection becomes less about fixing what's wrong and more about understanding your soul's journey with compassion and curiosity. It's as if you've developed a new sense organ, one that allows you to perceive the subtle currents of your inner world with remarkable clarity. This isn't about judgment or criticism. It's about witnessing your own evolution with wonder and acceptance. This heightened self-awareness isn't meant to turn you into a permanent hermit of introspection. Instead, it serves as a foundation for more authentic engagement with the world. Like a musician who must first tune their instrument before joining the orchestra, this self-reflection enables you to contribute your unique note to life's grand symphony with greater harmony and purpose. Like a desert flower blooming after the first rain, your capacity for empathy unfolds in ways you never imagined possible. This second sign of your twin flame journey manifests as a profound transformation in how you perceive and connect with others, marking a departure from the limited perspective that once defined your relationships. You begin to experience what mystics have described for centuries: the dissolution of the illusory boundaries between self and other. Suddenly, the stranger's tears at the coffee shop touch something deep within you, not because you're trying to be kind, but because you genuinely feel the interconnectedness of all human experiences. This isn't the superficial sympathy that society often mistakes for true empathy. It's a bone-deep recognition of our shared humanity. This expanded heart consciousness reveals itself in everyday moments. You find yourself naturally slowing down to truly listen when others speak, sensing the unspoken emotions beneath their words. The rushed barista, the frustrated colleague, the quiet child in the corner. You begin to perceive the complex tapestry of their lives, their unspoken struggles, and their unacknowledged triumphs. What's remarkable is how effortless this awareness becomes, flowing from you like breath itself. The transformation extends beyond mere emotional recognition. You develop what might be called spiritual sight, the ability to perceive the divine spark within each person you encounter. That difficult neighbor becomes a soul on their own sacred journey. The person who cut you off in traffic transforms from an adversary into another human, navigating their path through life's challenges. This shift doesn't make you a doormat. Rather, it enables you to respond to life's friction with wisdom rather than reactivity. Your relationships begin to take on new depth and authenticity. You find yourself naturally creating safe spaces for others to be vulnerable, not because you're following a self-help manual, but because your presence itself has become a sanctuary of understanding. Conversations become less about exchanging information and more about sharing in the sacred dance of human connection. This heightened empathy also brings a beautiful paradox. As your heart opens wider to others, you become more discerning, not less. Like a master gardener who knows which plants need sun and which need shade, you develop an intuitive understanding of how to meet different souls where they are. You learn when to offer support, when to maintain boundaries, and when to simply hold space for another's journey. Perhaps most profoundly, this expansion of the heart circles back to transform your relationship with yourself. As you learn to extend compassion to others' struggles and celebrations, you naturally begin to embrace your own journey with the same gentle understanding. The harsh inner critic that once dominated your internal dialogue gradually softens into a wise, loving observer. Like a compass needle suddenly awakening to true north, the third sign manifests as an irresistible pull toward total life alignment. It's not just about making surface-level changes. It's a profound reorganization that touches every dimension of your existence: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, as if your soul has remembered its original blueprint and is now gently but firmly guiding you back to it. In the physical realm, you begin noticing how your environment affects your energy. Spaces that once felt comfortable might suddenly seem cluttered or discordant. You find yourself naturally drawn to cleanse and reorganize your living space, not from a place of perfectionism, but from an intuitive understanding that your external world reflects and influences your internal state. Your body, too, begins requesting different care, perhaps craving more cleaner food, gentle movement, or periods of rest and restoration. Emotionally, you experience what might be called a great sorting. Like a master curator in the museum of your feelings, you begin to distinguish between emotions that truly belong to you and those you've inherited or absorbed from others. This isn't about suppressing or judging any emotions. Rather, it's about understanding their source and purpose. You develop a more refined emotional palette, capable of recognizing subtle nuances in your feelings that you previously missed. The mental realm undergoes its own remarkable transformation. Your thought patterns begin to shift from circular worry and repetitive negativity toward expansive contemplation and creative possibility. You might find yourself naturally drawn to new forms of knowledge, perhaps studying ancient wisdom traditions, exploring quantum physics, or delving into artistic expression. This isn't mere intellectual curiosity. It's your mind expanding to accommodate higher frequencies of understanding. Spiritually, you experience what mystics call the quickening, an acceleration of your spiritual awareness that makes previous practices feel incomplete. Meditation becomes less of a disciplined practice and more of a natural state you slip into throughout the day. Prayer transforms from recited words into spontaneous conversations with the divine. You begin to perceive the sacred in the ordinary. A sunset becomes a divine painting. A chance encounter reveals itself as a carefully orchestrated spiritual lesson. This realignment often brings unexpected changes in your life path. Career choices that once seemed logical might no longer resonate. Relationships might shift or transform as you vibrate at a different frequency. You begin to understand that true success isn't measured by external achievements, but by the degree of alignment between your outer life and your soul's purpose. The most beautiful aspect of this sign is how natural it feels. Despite the magnitude of changes occurring, there's an underlying sense of rightness, as if you're finally allowing yourself to become who you've always been meant to be. It's like watching a garden come into bloom. Each flower opens in its own time, in its own way, yet all are responding to the same inner call toward growth and expression. This realignment isn't about reaching perfection, it's about creating harmony between all aspects of your being. Like an orchestra tuning before a concert, each part of your life begins to find its proper pitch and rhythm. The result isn't rigid order, but a dynamic, flowing balance that allows for both structure and spontaneity, both growth and rest, both solitude and connection. Like morning dew evaporating in the first light of dawn, the fourth sign manifests as a gentle yet profound releasing of what no longer serves your highest path. This isn't the painful letting go that comes from forced detachment. Rather, it's a natural falling away of old patterns, desires, and expectations as your consciousness expands to embrace a more profound understanding of love and purpose. You begin to notice how your relationship with desire itself transforms. Where once you might have clutched tightly to specific outcomes, the perfect job, the ideal relationship, the right appearance, you find yourself surrendering to a deeper current of trust. It's as if you've discovered that your previous attachments were like holding on to pebbles while standing on a beach full of precious gems. The small desires don't disappear entirely, but they no longer hold the same gravitational pull over your heart. This transformation particularly affects your understanding of relationships, the desperate need for validation, the fear of abandonment, the compulsion to control outcomes. These old patterns begin to dissolve like mist in the morning sun. In their place emerges a more mature and expansive love, one that recognizes that true connection isn't about possession, but about mutual growth and freedom. Your relationship with your twin flame becomes less about achieving a specific outcome and more about embracing the journey itself. Material attachments undergo their own alchemical change. You might find yourself naturally simplifying your life, not from a place of lack or denial, but from a genuine recognition that true abundance flows from within. Possessions that once seemed crucial to your happiness now feel more like props in a play, useful perhaps, but not essential to your core being. This shift doesn't make you renounce the material world. Instead, it allows you to engage with it more consciously and joyfully. Perhaps most significantly, you notice your attachment to your own identity beginning to soften. The rigid self-definitions that once felt so crucial, your role, your status, your achievements, start to feel more like comfortable clothes you can wear or change as needed, rather than your actual skin. This isn't about losing yourself. It's about discovering a more expansive version of who you are, one that can flow with life's changes while remaining anchored in your essential nature. Time itself seems to take on a different quality in your consciousness. The urgent need to make things happen right now gives way to a deeper trust in divine timing. You begin to understand that every moment is perfectly orchestrated for your soul's growth, even and especially the moments that don't align with your personal timeline. This shift brings with it a profound peace, like finally exhaling after holding your breath for too long. The beauty of this fourth sign lies in its paradoxical nature. As you release your grip on what you thought you needed, you become more capable of receiving what truly nourishes your soul. Like a tree dropping its leaves in autumn, this letting go isn't about loss, but about making space for new growth. You discover that true freedom doesn't come from having everything you want, but from wanting everything you have. This transformation of attachments ripples through every aspect of your life, creating space for genuine miracles to unfold. You begin to experience what mystics call holy indifference, a state of being equally content with all outcomes because you trust in the perfect unfolding of divine plan. This isn't passive resignation, but active participation in life from a place of deep trust and authentic power. Like stepping through a hidden doorway into an enchanted realm, the fifth sign reveals itself as a profound shift in how reality operates around you. The veil between the ordinary and the extraordinary becomes gossamer thin, and you begin to witness the universe orchestrating an intricate dance of meaningful coincidences that can no longer be dismissed as random chance. You start noticing how answers arrive before you even formulate the questions. Perhaps you're contemplating a life decision, and suddenly relevant wisdom appears in unexpected places. A stranger's overheard conversation, a book falling open to exactly the right page, or a song on the radio that speaks directly to your heart. These synchronicities aren't just occasional occurrences. They become the background rhythm of your daily life, like cosmic music playing just beneath the surface of ordinary reality. The communication with your higher self and the divine becomes more fluid and natural. You might wake up with crystal clear insights that seemed impossible to grasp the night before. Numbers start carrying messages, appearing at precisely meaningful moments. These aren't just coincidences, they're love notes from the universe, confirming that you're in alignment with your soul's journey. Dreams take on new significance, becoming vivid portals of guidance and understanding. Your intuition sharpens to an almost supernatural degree. You find yourself knowing things you couldn't possibly know through ordinary means, sensing when your twin flame is thinking of you, anticipating events before they unfold, or understanding complex spiritual truths without studying them. This heightened perception doesn't feel strange or frightening. Instead, it feels like remembering a language your soul has always known. Time begins to flow differently in your experience. Moments of synchronicity create what mystics call eternal now points, instances where past, present, and future seem to converge in perfect harmony. You might experience déjà vu more frequently, or notice how certain events seem to spiral and echo through your life in meaningful patterns, revealing the sacred geometry of your journey. The physical world itself appears more alive and responsive to your consciousness. You might notice how nature seems to mirror your internal state, a sudden rainbow appearing during a moment of joy, or a gentle breeze carrying a needed message. Electronic devices might behave strangely around you, responding to your energy in unexpected ways. These aren't disruptions, but confirmations of the intimate connection between consciousness and reality. Most remarkably, you begin to recognize the perfect orchestration of even seemingly challenging events. What once looked like obstacles or setbacks reveal themselves as carefully placed stepping stones on your path. You develop an unshakable trust in the universe's timing, understanding that every delay, every detour, and every apparent coincidence is part of a greater design for your highest good. This enhanced state of being doesn't make you disconnected from reality. Rather, it allows you to participate more fully in life's magic. You become both the observer and the co-creator of these synchronicities, learning to dance with the universe in a state of playful co-creation. Your presence itself becomes a catalyst for magical moments, not just for yourself, but for those around you. Through this fifth sign, you come to understand that miracles aren't violations of natural law, but revelations of deeper truths about reality. The extraordinary becomes ordinary, not because it's less magical, but because you've expanded your consciousness to embrace the inherent magic in every moment. You realize that you've always been living in an enchanted universe. You're simply now awake enough to notice it. As we draw this exploration to a close, understand that your twin flame journey isn't a straight path, but a spiral dance of consciousness, eternally ascending toward higher understanding. Remember that being on the right track doesn't always feel comfortable or look conventional. Sometimes the most profound progress happens in moments of apparent stillness, like a seed gathering strength beneath the soil before it breaks through to the light. Trust that even when you feel lost, you're being found. Even when you feel stuck, you're transforming. Even when you feel distant from your twin flame, you're growing closer on levels beyond physical perception. As you continue on this sacred journey, carry this truth in your heart. There is no wrong way to walk a divinely guided path. You are exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, becoming exactly who you are meant to be. Let your heart remain open to the mystery, your spirit attuned to the magic, and your soul anchored in the knowing that this journey, in all its complexity and beauty, is unfolding in perfect divine order.